don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
We on location. I remember way back. You ain't have no swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk. Now you got new swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag.
What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. First of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give you my opinion. Now, we got a lot to get to, but first, we're going to start on some DeFi. But before we can even get started, I'm going to need you to rub them hands together real vigorously and slide down Twitter. Coming in hot from Flare, we have the 510 million FLR DeFi emissions program is now live. Now you got to think about this. During the bear market, they have been doing nothing but building out these DeFi protocols for the future. And I'm not just talking about Flare. You got HBAR, you got Algorand, you got XLM, XDC, and others. You might want to add that to the portfolio as well. We're not just going to put our cold storage wallets to work. I want my digital assets working for me while they play this stall out game with regulations. Now coming in hot from Flare. Flare's DeFi ecosystem is poised for a new phase of growth and liquidity, dApp development, and overall network participation due to the launch of their 510 million FLR DeFi emissions programs approved via the community governance. And you can best believe that the blockchain monkeys are going to be looking at all these DeFi protocols. You best believe it's not just about cold storage. I want some of my assets working for me too. Now, when you're talking about Flare, this is one of the things that stood out to me. F assets enable non-smart contract assets like BTC, XRP, and Doge to be brought to the Flare and used in DeFi to earn a yield. The success of the F asset system relies on stablecoin liquidity. Now, stay with me here, okay? To execute on core functions, F assets will be backed by a mix of collateral, including stablecoins bridged from other chains. The system uses over-collateralization to secure the value of the minted assets on Flare, which means if the collateral value falls below a certain threshold, liquidations will be triggered. For the system to function smoothly, liquidation should execute efficiently at fair market prices and without delays in order to rebalance any shortfalls. Deeper stablecoin liquidity means quicker liquidations and more access to collateral top-ups to maintain efficient F asset function. Now, I have yet to see a DeFi protocol put the game in a headlock like that. We're talking about Flare, and this is what I'm talking about. These developers on these projects, on these platforms, on these blockchains putting this thing together, you got to give it up for them. You best believe I'm going to be watching, and you best believe I'm going to be deploying. Now, can I talk about MasterCard real quick? Bridging the gap between mainstream and decentralized financial worlds. You best believe MasterCard, Visa, and them, they want some of this DeFi money too. We're making it easier for users of self-custody wallets to make card purchases everywhere MasterCard is accepted while retaining custody of their funds until the moment of purchase. And look how they write it in the papers. The digital assets ecosystem could be the comeback story of 2024. Us blockchain monkeys never left, and we never thought there was any lack from the get-go. But anyways, check this. It's like having cash in your wallet instead of your bank account, explains Lorenzo Santos, the senior project manager for blockchain company Consensus, whose offerings include the MetaMask self-custody wallet. We have already known this years ago. What we'd like to say is welcome to the party. Coming in hot from Cyprus, people complaining about the lack of price action in crypto and don't understand what massive developments have been happening behind the scenes. And this is what we tell you on the blockchain monkeys, and the reason why we continue to dig and do our research while you're distracted by everything else.
Just thinking back to 2020, the different apps we use on on the DeFi side or on the institutional side is just very different. It's much more user-friendly and much more likely to make it easier for people to make the.
You see who's speaking? Ex-Ripple representative, and he used to work at the Federal Reserve.
The regulatory side has begun to shift. I mean, as an American, it's pretty easy. I mean, I'm in Frankfurt here for many reasons, but one of which is we've seen so much capital flow to the EU because of MiCA and because of the power of it, and finally
You hear him over here talking about Micah. How many times have I told you about that? They're loading up and they're laying the pipe.
On the other side of the Atlantic, we're very much still deciding and in the discussion phase of creating regulations that make sense for this industry. So it's very clear that while we have a long way, that progress is very much happening, and we see that as a large indication of the direction that we see this going. So that's all really what makes this year different from previous cycles. And I think it's important to note that I don't mean to indicate that from here, it's all up and to the right. I mean, anyone who's been in this space long enough knows that it'll go down again. But what's important is that when things are going up, we go 2 steps forward, because we know that eventually we'll also go 1 step back.
And another thing, why do you think stablecoins are a hot topic? Look at the regulations coming in hot and heavy. Look what Ripple just did, dropping their own stablecoin. They're getting ready for this whole system to change, as well as the foundation being set for these DeFi platforms that are going to be yielding so much money. It's going to be sick. And let's not forget about how crucial XDC is to the system. I mean, look what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Blockchain, decentralized digital leaders, enabling secure and transparent transactions. We have stablecoins, securitization, commodities, real estate, trade finance, and growing. And right over here with stablecoins, we're talking about Trade Tech, Fathom, okay, another DeFi protocol. Then you got Globiance, who continues to rock it. Over here, we got Mr. Aqua saying Globiance is a sleeper. If you haven't had a chance to read this article right beneath here, it's called JumpEX, the future of banking. Take a look. And I don't know how many times I got to tell you about Globiance, JumpEX on the ticker, loyalty staking special, 13.33% APY on your JumpEX. And you best believe we are compounding interest. And they have here JumpEX, the ultimate deflationary utility token that's consistently burning. Have you seen their burns each and every single Monday? The link is in description.
Uses XRP for payments, their customers aren't blockchain users. But these applications and these DeFi applications, the customers, the people who need tokens, they're DeFi users, they're blockchain users. I think you can't deny right now that the institutional adoption is going to enable grassroots adoption and vice versa. What's exciting about this second wave of institutional adoption is that they're either bringing their customers directly onto the blockchain, or they're enabling people to do things on the blockchain. So Ripple's vision is to have DeFi applications on decentralized, censorship-resistant blockchains like the XRP ledger. So the most obvious example of that is the stablecoin that we announced.
It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain. Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with digital assets, we hodl and we trade. And when we do hodl, we make sure it's on a cold storage wallet so we have full access to our funds and no one else. Okay, you're talking about the DCENT wallet here. The link is in the description. The most easy and safe hardware wallet, enhanced crypto protection, built on the highest security standards. Link is in description. Holla at your boy.
We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.